Hello, again! It seems like forever since we've chatted. No, it was just yesterday, and why? Because it is E3. It is the perfect time for trailers. So many trailers, more trailers than we can ever possibly view, but we have to, and so that is why we should all go to the trailers right now. What are you doing? Nothing? Then let's all go to the trailers. I'm Brandon Jones. I'm joined by Mr. Ryan Stevens.
I would say it's raining trailers.
It's raining trailers and men. Speaking of another man, Mr. Cal Bosman.
I'm raining.
We have a very funny trailer, and then a very serious, sad trailer, and then another very funny trailer. So it should be a nice little emotional roller coaster we're about to go on. Really hard to pick anything to not watch, essentially, because there's about 500 trailers to select, and we can only talk about 3. You actually suggested one of the trailers, Ryan, because you said you liked it, and we're going to start with it. So without further ado... Dead Island 2. Did you know this was Dead Island before they played the show the title at the end?
I think when they announced it that it was Deep Silver, we knew Deep Silver had a mystery game. I think it wasn't too hard to piece 2 and 2 together. It was pretty good. Music fit, the jokey fit, it really got the kind of the Deep Silver aesthetic with how they kind of like co-opted games like Saints Row.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're kind of like I don't know if you know Aubrey, the PR lady, but she's like pretty zany. But they still kind of had the production level of the original kind of, you know, the heartstring Dead Island, even though this is completely different tonally. I still kind of got that vibe that this was a very, produced, thought-out piece. Really, really fun. Also a little biased, even though I hate living in Southern California. I've now lived here for a decade, and same reason that, GTA 5 kind of really vibed with me is that, hey, look, they're in Venice.
So yeah, very silly trailer. I have my opinions about it, but I want to hear you speak, Mr. Bossman.
I liked this trailer a lot. It is.
Thank God. Okay.
It is funny in a weird way. It's.
I feel like this is so good. Look at that.
It is. His hairpiece comes off an implant. I didn't even know you could have these bicep implants.
And it's like this weird, kind of time-lapsey claymation fishbowl eye lens thing.
Oh yeah, when he starts turning.
Yeah, and then this run at the end is so good too. But then you see the guy's oblivious, but they show him with the bite.
Yeah.
The little notes, you know, it's not a story, but it's it's like a little vignette almost. It really gets a little point across.
This guy in the Hawaiian shirt with the hat that we go by, I think is a nod to the first Dead Island, because it looks like the guy that gets the axe in the neck.
Oh, that's funny.
In the Dead Island 1 trailer. So I think some of these zombies, the girl in the bikini flicking the guy off, and then the girl in the bikini comes in the Dead Island trailer. I mean, obviously a comment on the first Dead Island trailer, which was very...
serious.
Which is very scandalous, very serious. A lot of people were pissed that the game didn't look like that.
I liked how it do things backwards.
I did a whole show episode, not to do a plug, but I did a Trailer Academy on it, and I actually thought it does represent a lot of things about Dead Island, obviously the tone not being one of them.
I love the guy stealing the shoes, too. That's seems so like an LA apocalypse thing. What was that movie? Zombieland? That seems like a kind of thing there. I thought the Billboard reveal was kind of a week out, though. I didn't think it was that funny. In all honesty,
you deserve, sure.
Yeah, I mean that's like a Kanye lyric. I don't know, but I do like I like a lot of it. I'm still laughing at it. Jaeger's making it.
Yeah,
it's not Techland, because Techland's making their other Dead Island game, which is called Dying Light,
which is serious. Which there's nothing really funny about Dying Light. Dying Light is very serious.
They just did Spec Ops: The Line, which obviously had some some heartstring stuff, and some people, one way or the other in the gameplay, but it's interesting to see what's going on. I think Deep Silver's a really interesting company that's kind of filling this void. They're like a new publisher, but they're actually a player. They've really shown themselves. They took some good THQ stuff. They did good stuff with it. But this trailer's rad.
Yeah, it is. It fits the
I want to hear the music.
The tone of a video game more. Do you know what I mean? When people were mad about how that first trailer didn't fit what the actual game came out this one will totally fit. We absolutely know what this game is going to feel like when it comes out.
Was that the Golden Gate Bridge in the title? They say it's California,
so
but we're in Venice.
I think they're making up a fictional city, is what that means. Because
does it have to be an island?
That is the Golden Gate Bridge.
It probably will be. Every damn trailer I saw this week is like a 9. Like they're all just really around the same point.
Great
trailers. I'd give this a solid 9.
Yeah, I didn't want to see a trailer for a zombie game, but this was still unique and entertaining somehow. And in its tone, and it's unique. They put together a trailer you haven't seen before with this, which is really interesting to do with a zombie game. 8.8.
9.4.
Nice.
I get a vibe, like
Yeah.
Even if I'm not really into the game, we're talking about the trailers. Like this is cool. I like watching this. I like listening to it. Song choice was good too.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, very fun comments and super high scores from us. We'll see how that fares against our other 2 trailers. Now for a trailer that's not so funny, slightly dramatic, kids holding machine guns and all, people standing 5 feet away from a giant bonfire with blood all over their face, the things you do in a generic action game. Directed and edited by Hideo Kojima. He would very much like you to know before this trailer begins.
The trailer itself
specifically was edited by Hideo Kojima.
I didn't realize that's what he meant. You're so right.
So you're getting a Final Cut vibe, or is this Avid, maybe Premiere?
I think he's tweeted it out before, and I think he uses Final Cut. I'm not positive about that, though.
I'm not in love with this trailer. I can get into the reasons why.
Oh, do it
I'm going to
then,
make some enemies. No, I want you guys to talk about the good stuff first, and then I'll get into it later.
Song selection. All of, I think, Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain's music selections for the trailers have been really interesting. This one, too. It fits what's happening in this game in a way that most other games don't try. Most other games don't even try songs with lyrics, you know what I mean? And so it's interesting that they're picking like something so tonally strong that it's hard for the game to match it, and somehow it does in this case.
So we see all of these urns with the ashes in them. Is he gonna rub all of them on his face? Because they're like on a table. They're like on a table lined up, and it's like, here's the first one.
Clearly, that was
Thank
one
you.
important person.
Let's get into the plot, Kyle. What do we? I know you're a Metal
So
Gear fan.
what's interesting about this trailer is it's all new stuff that was not in last year's trailer, and most of it timeline-wise seems like it happens afterward. Kaz, what happened to you, dude? You lost an arm and a leg. That's crazy. So it's weird. It's hard to place everything, to be honest, because it's hard to figure out. When we saw the map, it's hard to figure out after all these more bad things happen to poor Big Boss, that even more worse things happen. He has to rebuild his army twice in the span of 5 years, basically, is what it feels like. Or I guess 9 years.
Do they like the trailer because they just like Metal Gear, or is it like, whoa, that chick just jumped on that guy? What does that mean?
I like this trailer because it moves. It's like almost 5 minutes, and it goes, it flows. You're seeing stuff, you're interested. It doesn't dilly dally like some of the other stuff we've seen in the past. I sound like an old man. You see some characters you care about. The title intercuts aren't so poor. There's one shot I'm a little curious about where Snake kills like 4 dudes, and they seem like almost like zombies. Not to have zombies on the brain, but like I'm not really sure what's going on there. They explain some stuff, like obviously the little Oni horn that he had before is now like a bit of shrapnel, a little more explained. Mm-hmm. Kojima's one of those dudes where he explains something, but when he explains something, like 10 more questions fill in that hole, that vacuum that was opened up by answering something. Phantom Pain had some really strong trailers, and I think it'd be weird to it'd actually be interesting to even rate them. But what I think I'm still continuously disappointed with, and obviously having Ground Zeroes come out kind of puts it into a different perspective, but none of this reaches when it was just Moby Dick Studios Phantom Pain, when it was
An Explosion Whale.
Explosion Whale, the Psycho Mantis stuff, the stuff that I think's the best, when it goes way away from military and goes to the like psycho military stuff, is where I like things. I kind of hate military, and I suffer through it.
I really get pulled out of a trailer if I see people talk, but I can't hear what they're saying. And I might be a broken record with this and have said this on other shows, but it's just silly. I mean, it's just weird. It's something went wrong. Like you clearly don't use that shot. I mean, aren't there 80 billion hours of cinemas? Like, look at like right now, like we just kind of zoomed around Snake, and it's like, I bet he said something really significant there. Why did you hold on that shot long enough to not show me what he said? Like, you can do better than that as far as editing is concerned. So it's weird for him to be like, I edited this, by the way, and I grabbed this shot and didn't let you hear it. We do get sound ups, but there's so many cool fights where there's lots of knives in this. Like, he pulls out a knife and we see it glint. Someone else pulls a knife on him.
They always glint every
time. That moment where someone like pulls up a chair and pulls him against the wall, to me has zero impact because I'm not hearing it. So it just kind of has this dreamy song over it, and I'm like, okay, new gameplay, whatever. And then people are like, oh my god, my mind is completely blown. And it's like, I think your mind's blown because you're a Metal Gear fan. And I like Metal Gear. I'm curious about this game. The open world stuff sounds fun, but I just seeing more fighting, like these guys on a deck. It's like, okay, they're fighting what? Why am I supposed to be excited about this? You know, that's my big question. Like, outside of it just being more Metal Gear and stuff we haven't seen, why am I excited?
Kiefer Sutherland was casted for a reason, and it's just because Snake needed to emote more. And this is some of the stuff, you know, we start with that Mark Twain quote. We see the acid in his heart. We see why Big Boss becomes a villain in the Metal Gear Solid series. That's what this trailer's about, basically. Is like, oh, here's how things get twisted and bad. Here's how our good guy turns into a bad guy, essentially. But yeah, that's what it's meant to get you, Brandon. But I totally get if it doesn't.
Because I want to know either way. Was there no sound effects put in this trailer intentionally? Was he like, no, I want to hold off here? You know, like Saving Private Ryan, you know, like you would lose the sound because it's like, that's how intense this war sequence is. You can't even hear things, you know, and you're seeing tanks and stuff go. And like, there were moments in the Assassin's Creed Unity trailer where the sound was dropped out intentionally to kind of build up the tension of like, hold on this one moment. And if you think about all the sound design that went into all of these awesome trailers that we've watched, and it's like, did he not do it because he's a bad editor? Did he not do it because he was lazy? Or did he not do it I really want you to see Miller, his lips moving. It's really important for you to see him looking at Snake and saying something that you can't tell what he's saying. That's exactly what I did. Or like, oh, I'll just use this shot. It's like, because that's what it feels like to me. It's like, oh, I'll just put this shot there and then that shot there.
You heard your death at a point in the game and you have to read lips.
Still an awesome trailer. There's still really cool stuff. I mean, we're seeing Metal Gear here. We see him with the skull burn face or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's really his name, isn't it? Isn't it Skullface?
Yeah.
We see him, and it's like, what does that mean? I mean, we saw Skullface leaving a helicopter with the Kov or Fox or Zov forces, while Snake came in after that and infiltrated.
Killed
so, like,
all of Big Boss's buddies. Yeah.
So it's like, why are they working together? Like,
I'm still a little weirded out by the child soldier stuff. Just because I know in so many video games you can't kill kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they like Fallout, remember, like someone found a way that, like, a weird way in Fallout 3, you can kill a kid if you do this, and it was like, oh, because usually it's like just not allowed, you know, like ESRB is going to be on your butt. I honestly don't know the whole story behind that. So the whole child soldier stuff still interesting to me, not from a political stance, but more like just a game, you know, being all around games all the time. I'm a little weirded out by that stuff and curious how that's going to be handled.
I want you guys to score.
Us
Kyle,
first?
score this.
All right. I'm really sorry, Brandon. Like, I know that we score based on, like, how good a trailer is, and we try not to let our biases...
If the trailer made you excited for the game, then it did its job.
9.0.
All right.
The song choice is so much of that. I'm really almost inspired by the weird song selection.
And he tells you what it is. He says, I thought about this really hard. This is the song I picked for this.
Yep. And I really don't mind flapping lips. I'm totally okay with those. And in fact, I put those in the old...
You clearly don't mind about flapping lips because you flap your lip all the time, Kyle. So
right,
stop
Ryan.
flapping and let Ryan score it.
8.6. Like, again, I mean, for a trailer that's this long and flows this well, pretty rad. Again, definitely way more of a story trailer. You get a couple little gameplay beats, but from what we heard from the demo they're showing, yeah, this doesn't reflect their plan of what they are showing off at E3 at all, which I always think is kind of interesting when there's kind of butt heads.
I give this a 2.8.
Whoa!
I mean an 8.2.
Oh, I really thought you were going for a 2.8.
See, I told you there.
The way you attacked it, I really thought a low score was coming.
It's a really good trailer. I'm just like, 8.2 is the lowest score I've given an E3 trailer so far. So
Sure.
I just wanted to make an example.
Okay,
of
if there were no urns and ashes, what would have you given it?
If he didn't rub it on his face, if he just ate it.
What if it was just
You know,
tiger
or just
balm?
threw it in the air, like, you know, rub it on the other soldiers' faces.
I'm
you know,
rethinking it, Brandon. I really think it is just one dude's ashes. I don't think it's anybody important.
Kyle, I'm sure it is. I mean, he's making a statement. You know, he's the leader. That's how he's demonstrating to his men. Okay, to lighten the mood, let's get back to some funny stuff. I have criticized the tone and script of previous Sunset Overdrive trailers, and this trailer made me laugh. It made me giggle. I thought it was fun. I like being tricked. I like when Plants vs. Zombies tricked us with Battlefield at last year's E3, and I like when we got the trick here, because it's always a guess. I'm literally sitting there with a log sheet going through these press conferences because I have to reload them into our EVS machine for roll-ins for our live coverage at All Access. And I'm sitting here with my pad going, what the hell is this? And I'm like, oh my god, I see Insomniac. Like,
Yeah, first 30 seconds.
Also want to point out that I didn't notice until recently, breaks out the letterbox. We start the trailer in bars, and if you freeze frame it, he literally smashes the bars. The bars are cracked and smash away.
Always a cool trick.
When he comes flying in through the door. It's just funny. All these beats are great. I think the trailer had a great attitude. really set up the difference between this and other games. I thought was representative of the game. Maybe not as funny as Dead Island 2, but always a fun way to shake it up. I thought Ted Price came out and was a little too energetic after the announcement. You are the leader of this game, or you are the player. And he like leaned forward and pointed at everybody. That was a little bit too much. Xbox had a fun press conference, and I thought this was one of the more fun moments from a game we had already heard of, and we'd already seen gameplay of before the show, so for just a purely CG trailer to do that, I liked it.
No, it's funny. I mean, this guy is looking us in the camera and introducing the game. This is probably how they should have debuted the game in the first place. It's a good introduction to not just tone, but what the game is all about. Some of the jokes really don't hit with me. And the worst one to me is when he says, you can do the game. Why? Because it's a video game. Brandon, that is my lips flapping during music. That is like, that to me, that you don't ever tell me I'm playing a video game. That's my least favorite thing.
Would it be worse if he was a toy that came to life?
And you're right, that'd be all the wrong things.
He's pretty annoying. Like, he's not the worst, but like, there's a lot of things that kind of... I know this word's like a weird, zany, vibrant world. I just keep thinking of what was that game, Pain?
Whoa, this guy's that bad?
It just kind of, like, I don't know. I don't think this game's awful. I still think it's not... I'm not having a very positive reaction. I don't think there's anything particularly poor, per se, but the opening trick was good. People called it here, by the way.
Fizco is how...
A lot of people... No, they said it felt off.
Oh, okay.
Like, Justin was, like, right on it.
It felt like an NVIDIA commercial or something. You know, it felt like just like, and now traditional shooter. And you're like, whoa, this game better do something. Otherwise, it's just clearly like a Call of Duty clone or something.
Graphics.
Like, okay.
Sure.
They got us. I will not rate this trailer as highly as Metal Gear. Let me put it that way, Kyle. I don't want
Really?
I don't want all of the users to hate me.
No, but a lot of people are really hyped on this trailer.
I think it's funny. I think it was a good moment of the show. I think you want to do something other than just like, again, show game footage to actually like have an idea about like, oh, here's how we could sell the game.
Yeah.
Would have worked way better as the announcement trailer. I just question, you know, you're like, oh, this guy's really annoying. It's like, well,
Not
or
really,
you're like,
just a bit.
how can you say it's just a video game? Like, that's what Insomniac does. Those are the games they make. I thought this trailer played way better than the Ratchet and Clank movie trailer. I thought the jokes,
Oh, God.
I thought
Who's
the jokes
writing
were way
that?
more on point.
I'm
yeah.
really glad that will never be on Let's All Go to the Trailers.
But
Man.
I just think this is how you sell that game. I want a game that's funny. We had a Tease of Conquer coming back. I want funny games. I want games that while you're in it, make fun of the game you're playing. You know, so I understand that it makes light of games, and we obviously take games very seriously. But it cracked me up. It made me laugh. I laughed out loud while watching this trailer. I guess maybe I'm old and I like potty humor. I don't know. But
There's no potty
that one
humor
bit
in
where
this.
he's like, I'm the hero of this game. Oh wait, no, I'm not. You're the hero.
Oh,
like,
when he points and the camera goes down to the below.
and you mentioned that the
That's
writing and
great.
some of the jokes
I
fall
love
flat,
that.
but it's also very quick. Like he says
Yeah.
a joke, and if it's not funny, he moves on to the next joke. You know, it's
Sure.
got like a good pace to it. And I think this is, for better or worse, is what this game is gonna look and sound like. I imagine there's gonna be some kind of story with cinemas, and I think this is gonna be the writing, you know, that we're gonna get. I'll give it an 8. Because, you know, whereas if you were to compare this to Metal Gear, because we just talked about Metal Gear, you know, obviously there's way more subtext to the stuff you're looking at in Metal Gear. There's much more of a mystery. You know, I'm sure there's like a lot more thought that went into the creation of the elements we're looking at. But I think there's more thought going into the actual conception of this trailer. Like this trailer had a team of people that put it together. Kojima, one night,
used
went
his
into
own
an editing
cutscenes.
bay,
Yeah.
grabbed a song, and made a trailer, you know?
Out of cutscenes he already has.
Right.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So...
Like, we don't even know who directed this trailer.
I know. Exactly. Who cut this?
Who does
Inquiring
he
minds
think he
want to
is?
know.
Who does he directed and
We
edited?
put bylines at the beginning of our reviews to tell you who edited it. I want to know who edited this trailer. Yeah, it's tough. Again, I think any of these jokes and stuff like that work way better in trailer form than they do when some guy just walks out on stage and like tries to make a joke.
Sure.
But I think it actually works better in a press conference. Like, I think the fake outs, because otherwise you're clicking on something, you know what you're going to see. So this is the best way to deliver these fake out trailers.
Yeah.
You know?
What say you to my 8, Kyle?
Oh, yeah, I forgot we're starting scores already. It does a really good job of saying what is different about this game. And I mean, that's its goal primarily, very clearly, is here's what makes this game different. It's not a cover-based shooter. You're doing weird stuff and having fun. So even though I don't like its humor and all that, like, it's a good trailer. 8.9.
7.7. It's good. I like, again, it fit. It's just, I'm still not quite sure what they're trying to... They had the kind of the gameplay reveal, dev diary. They had the kind of shitty teaser last year, which you're like, what is it actually going to be? Is this like Loco Cycle 2 or something? The humor is not awful. This guy rubs me a little bit the wrong way. It's mainly the best. It is good, but like, you know, this is E3 time. And so, you know, it's playing with the big dogs, playing with the diamond dogs.
Sure.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, what, not to poke and prod you guys, but like, what? What do you do? How else do you sell Sunset Overdrive? What's like, they should have done this. They should have done what? How do you sell it? What's the trailer you make?
Right.
Like,
Why won't people intercut CG with gameplay?
Oh, that'd be weird. I think that'd be real weird.
People are so afraid. Are you sure though? No one really does it.
I'd be afraid to.
I would be interested. I don't know.
I think this is the game. I think this is how they sell it. I think.
Or they do
Insomniac's like,
in engine, I guess, because like what Uncharted's in engine, but I don't know.
Will we get Sunset Overdrive before?
What? Well, what's better? Would you rather have something be really humorous, or would you rather something be filled with jokes? And I know that may seem like the same question, but it's not. They're the same thing.
I would rather have this guy tell me about Sunset Overdrive than the guy who talked about it, who said nice things to me on Twitter. I'm not calling him out and saying he did a bad job. He did the best job he could. But that weird, you know, I'm from Insomniac, but I might not be kind of vibe. Like, I'd much rather hear it from this guy. So. And that's it. That is Let's All Go to the Trailers for today. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much, Ryan Stevens, for joining us this time. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I do not know what we're going to watch tomorrow, but they will be trailers. They will be from E3. They will be halfway decent. We will score them. And we will continue to make more episodes for our E3 coverage. Thanks, guys. See you all tomorrow.